The year is 218 BC. Two powerful empires collide, setting the stage for one of the most epic confrontations in ancient history. Rome, the rising republic of citizen soldiers, faces Carthage, a maritime power from North Africa. Both nations are determined to expand their influence and secure their dominance. The prize: domination of the Mediterranean, the lifeblood of trade and military power in the ancient world. Their rivalry had already ignited one brutal war, known as the First Punic War, which saw massive naval battles and fierce land engagements. Now, a second, even more destructive conflict engulfs the ancient world. This war would be marked by legendary battles and unprecedented strategies. This is the Second Punic War, a clash that would test the limits of both empires' endurance and ingenuity. It will be a fight for survival, with each side pushing their resources and strategies to the brink. The First Punic War had ended 20 years earlier. Rome had emerged victorious, securing a crucial foothold in the Mediterranean. They seized control of Sicily, a crucial strategic island that served as a gateway to further conquests. This defeat left Carthage hungry for revenge. The loss of Sicily was a bitter pill to swallow, and they were determined to reclaim their lost glory. A new generation of Carthaginian leaders, led by the brilliant general Hannibal Barker, vowed to restore their nation's glory. They were driven by a burning desire to avenge their previous defeat. They set their sights on a daring target, the heartland of Italy itself. This audacious plan would bring the war to Rome's doorstep, challenging the very core of Roman power. Hannibal Barker's son, Hannibal, inherited his father's strategic brilliance and burning desire for vengeance. From a very young age, Hannibal was groomed for greatness, absorbing the lessons of warfare and leadership from his father. Hannibal instilled in him a deep-seated hatred for Rome, a sworn enemy of Carthage. This enmity would shape Hannibal's destiny and drive his future campaigns. From a young age, Hannibal trained in the art of war. He was not just a student of military tactics, but also a practitioner, engaging in rigorous training alongside seasoned soldiers. His education was comprehensive, covering everything from hand-to-hand combat to the complexities of battlefield strategy. He accompanied his father on campaigns in Spain. These early experiences were invaluable, providing him with first-hand knowledge of military logistics, the importance of supply lines, and the morale of troops. He witnessed the harsh realities of war and the sacrifices required for victory. He learned to command troops, outwit enemies, and exploit any advantage. Hannibal's keen mind and adaptability made him a formidable leader. He understood that warfare was not just about brute strength, but also about cunning and strategy. After his father's death, Hannibal took command of the Carthaginian forces in Iberia, modern-day Spain, and Portugal. His leadership was immediately tested, but he rose to the challenge, demonstrating his capability to lead and inspire his men. He quickly proved himself to be a military prodigy. Hannibal's plan was audacious. He envisioned a campaign that would strike at the heart of Rome, a plan that required not just boldness, but also meticulous planning and unwavering determination. He would strike at Rome where they least expected it, from the north. This approach was revolutionary, catching the Romans off guard and forcing them to defend their homeland in a way they had never anticipated. He intended to lead his army across the formidable Alps, a journey considered impossible by many. The treacherous terrain and harsh weather conditions posed significant challenges, but Hannibal's resolve was unshakable. He believed that the element of surprise would be his greatest weapon. With elephants and cavalry in tow, he aimed to bring the war to Roman soil. The inclusion of war elephants was a masterstroke, intended to intimidate and overwhelm the Roman forces. This diverse and powerful army was a testament to Hannibal's innovative approach to warfare. This daring strategy would become legendary. Hannibal's campaign against Rome is remembered as one of the most brilliant military endeavors in history, showcasing his genius and the indomitable spirit of the Carthaginian people. The Roman and Carthaginian armies represented two distinct military traditions. The Roman legions were renowned for their discipline, organization, and heavy infantry. Armed with swords and javelins, they fought in tight formations, a formidable wall of shields and steel. The Roman soldier prided himself on his courage and tenacity. The legion was the backbone of Roman power. Carthage, in contrast, boasted a more diverse army. Their forces included skilled Numidian cavalry from North Africa, renowned for their speed and maneuverability. Iberian infantry, armed with deadly swords, formed the core of their army. And then there were the war elephants, massive creatures that could terrify even the most seasoned Roman soldier. Hannibal's army, having crossed the Alps, marched southward through Italy. They had won a series of small victories, but had yet to face a full Roman legion in open battle. The Roman Senate dispatched the consul Tiberius Sempronius Longus and his legions north to confront Hannibal. The two armies met near the Trebia River, a shallow but icy river in northern Italy. It was December, and the weather was bitterly cold. Sempronius, eager to engage the enemy and avenge earlier Roman losses, rushed to confront Hannibal. He did not realize that he was walking into a carefully laid trap. Hannibal, a master strategist, had carefully chosen the battlefield. He had studied the terrain meticulously, understanding every hill, river, and forest that could be used to his advantage. His keen eye for detail and deep understanding of military tactics made him a formidable opponent. He knew the Romans were eager for battle and would likely attack head-on. Their confidence, fueled by previous victories, made them predictable. Hannibal anticipated their every move, knowing that their eagerness would lead them straight into his trap. He planned to use this to his advantage. By exploiting their overconfidence, he could turn the tide of battle in his favor. His orders were clear and precise, leaving no room for error. He sent his brother, Mago, with a detachment of cavalry and infantry to conceal themselves in the wooded banks of the river. This strategic positioning would allow them to launch a surprise attack at the most opportune moment, catching the Romans off guard. They would be Hannibal's hidden weapon. Silent and unseen, they waited patiently, their nerves steeled for the coming battle. The element of surprise was crucial, and they were ready to strike with precision and ferocity. As dawn broke, the Roman army prepared for battle. The soldiers, though eager, were weary from the cold night. Their breath visible in the frigid air, they steeled themselves for the fight ahead, unaware of the trap that awaited them. They had not eaten and were shivering in the freezing cold. The harsh conditions took a toll on their morale, but their determination to achieve victory kept them moving forward. Sempronius, blinded by his eagerness for glory, ordered an immediate attack. His desire for a swift victory clouded his judgment, making him oblivious to the dangers that lay ahead. The Roman legions, their sandals heavy with mud, advanced across the icy river towards the Carthaginian lines. The cold water numbed their feet, and the mud clung to their sandals, slowing their progress. Yet, driven by their commander's orders, they pressed on, unaware that they were walking into a meticulously planned ambush. The initial clash was fierce. The Roman legions, their discipline unwavering, pushed forward against the Carthaginian centre, but Hannibal had anticipated this. He had deliberately made his centre weaker to draw the Romans in. As the Romans pressed their attack, the Carthaginian cavalry, superior in numbers and mobility, swung around to attack the Roman flanks. The Roman legions, caught in a deadly pincer movement, began to waver. Just when it seemed the Roman line might break, Mago's hidden troops launched their surprise attack from the rear. The Roman army, now assailed on all sides, was thrown into confusion. The Trebia River, flowing red with blood, bore witness to the carnage. The Battle of Trebia was a resounding victory for Hannibal. The Roman legions, outmaneuvered and outfought, suffered heavy casualties. Thousands of Roman soldiers lay dead on the frozen battlefield. It was a devastating defeat, one that sent shockwaves through the Roman Republic. Hannibal's victory at Trebia was not just a matter of military strength. It was a testament to his strategic genius. He had anticipated his opponent's moves, exploited the terrain, and used deception to achieve a decisive victory. The Battle of Trebia would be studied for centuries to come as a masterpiece of military planning and execution. The Battle of Trebia was a turning point in the Second Punic War. It shattered the aura of Roman invincibility and proved that Hannibal was a formidable opponent. The victory had a profound psychological impact on both sides. For Rome, the defeat was a bitter pill to swallow. It exposed the limitations of their traditional tactics and the vulnerability of their heartland. The Senate, shaken but not broken, resolved to raise new legions and continue the fight. They knew this was a war for their very survival. The Battle of Trebia stands as a testament to the military genius of Hannibal Barker. It was a victory won through a combination of tactical brilliance, strategic foresight, and psychological warfare. Hannibal's use of terrain, his exploitation of his enemy's weaknesses, and his daring ambush secured him a place among the greatest military commanders in history. More than just a battle, Trebia was a stark warning to Rome. Hannibal had arrived in Italy, and he was not going away easily. The road ahead would be long and bloody for both sides, and the fate of the Mediterranean hung in the balance. The Battle of Trebia was just the beginning.